So looking at Parent Square, I can really see the usefulness of that, and I was anxious to get my classes loaded so I could start sending posts to my individual classes. But when I got in, I saw them like this in the upper right hand corner here, just listed as my Science 7 and my name. And there was no way to determine which was my first, second, third, fourth period class. So I needed to make groups. I started looking into that, looking at some videos that Megan Johnson did. And I found a way that I can actually create this scenario right here. So I can send out a post to individual classes, to individual students in those classes, rather quickly and easily. So before we get started, if you would jump to your Skyward and either print your rosters or just write down the first name of the kid in your class so you can compare those when you get into this so you know which period is which period. So I'll give you a second to do that and we'll get started. Let's look on the Skyward side. This is my first period class, and if it says okay, there's my kids' names, but there's no grade, so I guess that's okay. So the first thing we need to do is go to reports, and I like to go down to class roster, and in here you need to create a roster like I have, and you can either add a new template or you can take this one and you can just modify it. And so it needs to be modified a little bit. I unchecked everything except for first and last name, and then I changed from student ID to internal ID. So you have to select that right there and then hit save. So when you've done that, then we have to make a copy of this. And so I'm going to hit export to Excel. It's going to call it up here in a second. You can see I've done this a few times here now, trying to figure out how it works. Display the report. And then it's going to open the report real quickly. I'll expand it out a little bit. And the way that it has to be exported and brought into Parent Square is I'm going to delete all of these rows here, including the heading. And I'm going to actually, and this is the part that confused me a little bit, I'm actually going to delete the names of the kids. But I know this is my first period class, so I'm just going to delete those. So all I have left is their student internal IDs. And I tried it with the student ID and it didn't work. So when I switched it to the other bullet there for internal, it seemed to work. And then I simply save this, or excuse me, I want to download this, save as. I'm going to put it in my downloads. I'm going to call it period -1. It's going to go to my downloads. This is the important part. The format's got to be switched over to common separated values. So you want to switch it to right there. And then you hit save, and then it's going to ask you, these are my computer, ask me, do I want to do this? I say yes. So now I'm going to close it, and it's going to ask me to save it again. So I say yes, continue, and I'm done. So I can go back and get out of Skyward. And that's the Skyward end of it that we need to do. So we're going to come back here in a second. We're going to show you what to do on the Parent Square end of it. This is one way I found out how to do this, and it works for me. If there's other ways that you've found how to make these groups with your class list, other than just going through and finding all your kids and picking them one by one, let me know. I would like, but this seemed to work for me, and so I want to share it with you. And if it does, that's great. If you have another way to do it, share that out. Also, people want to hear it. So when I'm in my Parent Square, I want to go down and participate, and I want to go to groups, and I select groups. And these are the groups that have been here for a while, but these groups are my class periods that I created, which are different than the ones that were posted. So you notice I'm missing first period, so I'm going to add first period. That's the CSS file, the common separated value that I did in the Skyward side, and so it's all ready to go. It's in my download, so it's pretty simple. I want to hit new group, and this is all in Megan Johnson's video in the communications part of our PD learning this summer. So you can check that out too, but you want to hit new static group, and I'm going to name it, but this is my first period. This is why I had you take a look at who your first period a kid in your classes so you could identify to make sure it matched it, or print your roster. So I'm going to put period 1. I know that's what I'm doing. I hope it works. Everything else kind of stays the same. Just script if you want to, but I'm going to choose the add members by uploading to CSV. Now, the first couple of times I did this, it wasn't working. And so then I came back and I go, what does this mean right here? So I clicked it, and that's all there is that eternal number. So I had the name and all that stuff in it. So that's all you need is that, which is what we did. So then I want to upload students to here. It gives you the option of staff, but you want students. Choose your file. So we're going to go find that file in your downloads. There's mine. So I click on it and I hit open, and hopefully it processes it all. There's my kids. If I hit student name, then there's my first kid. So I know that's my first period class. And then I go all the way to the bottom. That number matches the number of kids that I have in class that period this year. I hit save, and it loads it. And now when I want to go under Explore to Directory, this is where you're going to see my class lists of there's my kids that I have. You can come over here and you can go, so I want to select, say, period 1. And this gives me all my kids, and I know that those are my kids in my first period class. I can come over here and I can, to the upper right, it's where I'm at. I got to change that and put period. So, and then I can go to period 2, and there's all my kids. And so what's cool about this now is if you go to post and you want to go just something, say to your second period class or the parents of your second period class, new posts. And when you get in here and you go to, I'm already in second period. There you go. So it's already there. And this is where you can choose. Again, this is from Megan's stuff too, Megan's video, but you can see that I'm just going to period 2, and I can specifically choose that. So if I cancel this, then I can show you one time real quickly. If you want to do go to your, as you can see here, I want to show you this again. This is what came in. So I didn't know which is which class. Maybe you guys know a way, but I didn't. So I can select down here. So period 5, it'll go to period 5, as you can see right up here, and then I can hit just students or posts. So anyway, so that's my way that I did it. Again, I hope that helps somebody out there. If you have any questions, give me a call. If you find an easier way to do it, please share that with me and other people, so we can get started off. Have a great school year.